WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. There will soon be a new police chief in West Point. After 6 years on the job, sources tell WCBI that Chief Tim Brinkley is retiring. Our Quentin Smith has been following this developing story and joins us live from West Point with more. Quentin.
Joey, I'm here outside of the West Point City Hall, and right now the West Point Board of Selectmen are currently have their regularly scheduled board meeting underway right now. And now during tonight's meeting, they're expected to discuss the future of the West Point Police Chief, Tim Brinkley. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the sources have told us that Brinkley has submitted his retirement letter to the city. Now, as of right now, board members have not discussed the topic. In fact, Brinkley is not even inside of the meeting. Now, the meeting is still underway right now as we speak. I'm going to head back inside, and coming up tonight on WCBI News at 9 and 10, I'll bring you more details on this developing story. But for now, reporting live in West Point, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
All right, thanks a lot, Quentin. Aberdeen police continue searching for a man wanted in connection with a weekend homicide. Investigators are looking for Darren Wilburn, who they believe possibly shot LaQuinton Walker 3 houses down from his home. Police identified Wilburn as a person of interest Monday, but have been unable to track him down. Chief Henry Randall says the suspect is from the Tupelo area, but has been living in Aberdeen. Randall believes a disagreement led to the shooting.
Reason why we come up with that analogy for him probably being the one that has more involvement in it because of the history that he has with the young man, our victim, last week. And we just need to get him in here, go over several things that we have questions for, and maybe he can answer what we need to answer, and also we need to do a process on him.
Randall says Wilburn is the main suspect, but they still have 2 or 3 others they're questioning. He also says anyone who helps Wilburn can also face charges. Aberdeen leaders say it's time for the community to come together. Our Jory Talley joins us live in the studio with more on how the city is trying to heal and move forward. Jory?
Joey, community leaders are working on bringing the community together to make sure another young life isn't taken too soon.
There's always going to come at some point strife, you know, and at this moment we are in that particular season where we're feeling like our back is up against the wall.
That battle comes after a senseless shooting took this man's young life. 17-year-old Quentin Walker, who would have been a senior at Aberdeen High School this fall.
To see this happen to him this way is very horrible and heartfelt, because he never bothered anybody.
Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church Reverend Cedric Doss Sr. says this tragedy hits home for him because he's watched Walker grow up as a child and also has a son around the same age.
Watching him from a young age, he was a humble young man. He wasn't a troublemaker, and to say that is to say that you don't have to be a troublemaker for trouble to find you. But he was always respectful.
Mayor Maurice Howard says Aberdeen will not stand for this type of behavior.
You guys put the guns down and that you come together, love one another. Let's build this community. Let's not be so divisive and divided, but let's come together and work as a unit to move Aberdeen forward.
Howard and Doss both say it's time to come together to make sure the city doesn't lose another young adult to senseless violence.
To reach out to the young people in this community, to let them know that there are better things to do than pull a gun and take somebody's life. You can better yourself, you can become better, and you don't have to pull a gun to take someone's life to prove that you are hard. You can get out and work hard and accomplish some things instead of jail time.
A community anti-violence rally and a vigil remembering Quentin Walker will take place later on this week. Reverend Doss says Walker's funeral will take place at Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church. A date hasn't been set at this time. Joey?
Thanks, Jory. West Point investigators say foul play is not involved in a man's death this past weekend. Police Chief Tim Brinkley says an autopsy performed this morning shows a pre-existing medical condition contributed to David Ryle's death. There were no signs of blunt force trauma or other factors that could have caused his death. Nicholas Pfeiffer and Kaylee Ray were taken into custody Monday in connection with the investigation. Ray has been released. Pfeiffer remains in jail on an unrelated charge. The investigation is still open. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson for a first look at your forecast. Keith?
Joey, still some showers and thunder showers across our western counties right now. Brief downpours, a little bit of thunder and lightning west and southwest of Bruce, and just west of New Albany and Ripley, some showers and thunder showers still. And all that is propagating back to the west, but we've cleared out in Tupelo and Columbus. So right now, most of the area doing okay. Temperatures really all over the place. If you've seen some rain today, a little bit cooler than other spots. And here's our planner for this evening. The isolated activity will go away, upper 70s by 11 o'clock. Not as mild tonight, or not as chilly tonight. We're down only into the low 70s versus those 60s. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Keith. It's a common problem faced by private schools in rural areas, dwindling enrollment. Over the years, graduating classes have gotten smaller, and some have been forced to close their doors. WCBI's Parker King talks with one of these private schools, Calhoun Academy. He joins us live in the studio to tell us how they plan to attract future classes. Parker?
Joey, it's not a surprise that private schools have smaller class sizes than public schools, but being too small is where business can be dangerous. To fight this, schools focus on the positives that can ensure that students come through their doors year in and year out. Calhoun Academy may not be the largest private school in the area, but over its nearly 50-year history, it has provided its services to a consistent class size.
Calhoun Academy has a history of longevity here in Calhoun County and the surrounding areas, and it is part of our responsibility year by year to find programs that will be interested with the students coming in, and also to get out and market our school in many, many ways.
Some of the programs they offer are what make them appealing to potential students.
We have music, we have PE, we have art, we have accelerated reading program.
The administration uses these programs to market in surrounding counties, not just Calhoun, to broaden their horizon and increase class size.
We have students coming in from Lafayette County, Yalobusha County, Chickasaw County, Webster County, and Grenada County at the present time. So we touch all those counties and try to venture out to all those counties.
One of the more understanding reasons for low class sizes is the affordability factor.
The economics plays a big part in our enrollment. And when the economics and the economy is going great, then our enrollment increases. When it stabilizes and is not doing so well, then we kind of are holding our own.
Still, the school emphasizes the benefits that could prepare a student in the classroom for the next level.
I think that we have a lot to offer to our students, and we have a lot to offer to them as parents that are wanting a better education for their child in a safe environment.
And Calhoun Academy specifically plans on keeping this longevity. Their programs and one-on-one attention to students have helped them achieve a 100% graduation rate year after year. Joey?
All right, thanks, Parker. It's a chance to get a good meal and help a good cause and maybe see a familiar face or two. We head to Starkville after the break.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, you may have noticed Andrea is not here in the studio tonight, but she's definitely busy helping for a good cause. She joins us now live from Starkville with more. Andrea?
All right, Joey, it is a busy Tuesday night here at the Starkville Harveys. It's great food, great fellowship, and it's all for a great cause. This is the annual Celebrity Wait Night here to benefit the Oktibbeha County Humane Society, and they've got a full dining room here tonight, serving tables, waiting tables tonight. Mayor Lynn Spruill is here. Starkville High School Principal Sean McDonald is also here waiting tables. Sheriff Steve Gladney is here. Staff from the Mississippi State University Athletic Department here. And you know what? Bully is here too. I don't know how much work he's doing, but he's getting the most attention of everybody here tonight. We will be here until 8 o'clock. In addition to being able to enjoy great food, there are lots of great auction items tonight during the silent auction. There are items from autographed balls from the Mississippi State Athletic Department, lots of great memorabilia. There are gift certificates from local businesses, and of course from the Eat With Us group. So come on out and enjoy a great meal and help a great cause. All of the tips tonight that that you leave here at Harvey's in Starkville will go directly to the Oktibbeha County Humane Society to help our furry friends there and help folks take care of the animals there at the Humane Society. For now, I'm live here in Harvey's in Starkville. Joey, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Audrey. It looks like a lot of fun. Well, women who make a difference across our area in many ways are honored today at a luncheon in Tupelo. Mud and Magnolias magazine hosted its first Influential Women Awards luncheon. Hundreds gathered at the Tupelo Cotton Mill for the event. Nearly 50 women were nominated as influential women by their peers and members of the community. Nominees say it's an honor to be included in such a prestigious group.
The future is female. We joke about it, but you know, if you want a problem solved, put a group of women in the room. And you've got mothers and sisters who work together until we reach a resolution.
Bev Crossan, owner of the farmhouse, was named Top Influential Woman during the event. And Andrea is very talented. Before waiting tables tonight, she emceed today's event in Tupelo.
Otherwise, pretty simple forecast here for the foreseeable future. Hazy, hot, and humid with some pop-up storms. Your full forecast is next.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Let's go to Tupelo this afternoon. We were looking south at some budding showers and thunder showers north of West Point, and those were rumbling to the north, but they really lost their momentum as they approached Tupelo. A few showers just south of Tupelo. We really didn't see anything in the city. There have been some showers around, especially west of Columbus. We got a little rain in downtown Columbus, but just west of town. Maybe 1 to 3 inches of rain in some isolated pockets here in western Lowndes County with a thunder shower that just sat overhead for a while. And then some spotty activity has been ongoing for the last few hours here. It's been propagating back to the west. We still have some of these storm cells and showers near Calhoun City, just southeast of Coffeyville, probably the heaviest downpour in our area right now, and also near Holly Springs and a few blips there in New Albany and Ripley. Now, all of this is actually associated from the storms that were erupting earlier today near Columbus. And notice how the storms popped up and then poof, they went away. But they put out this outflow boundary. You can see it arcing right there. And then at the periphery, we are getting some additional storm cells to fire up. Even some storms over here in the West Alabama too. Will some of those get into East Mississippi this evening before they completely go away? It's still possible here, but by and large, once we get into the early evening, a lot of this is going to be going away. So scattered showers and thunderstorms across the deep south today. As expected, more coverage today versus the last few days because we've had this deep tropical moisture come back in here, and that is going to continue to build here as we go throughout the next few days. Let me go back to the heat index forecast. Well, let me just tell you that between now and the middle of next week, the heat index should be anywhere between about 95 to about 105 in our area before any storm in the afternoon. 83 in the city of Columbus right now, some of that rain-cooled air. 91 in Tupelo. You have not seen the rain in the city. 92 in Louisville. So temperatures are all over the place right now. Down into the low 70s tonight, not as cool. More humidity in the air. And here's how it's going to look on Wednesday. A lot of sunshine at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock. By noon, building clouds, upper 80s and low 90s during the afternoon. And some of those clouds could give rise to a few scattered showers and storms. You can see that with the 7-day forecast here. So no real major changes here. Anywhere between a 30 and 40% chance of rain each and every day through the weekend. Highs in the low 90s, lows into the 70s.
In the the SEC just means more. All I know is we're going to be talking some more Mississippi State Bulldogs here at SEC Media Days coming up next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
SEC Media Day always brings out the chaos as we close in on kickoff of the SEC football season. Mississippi State took their turn at the madness, and our Tom Ebel was there for all the fun. He joins us live with more from Hoover. Tom?
Thank you, Robbie, and good evening here from Hoover, the site of that chaos you mentioned at SEC Media Days. Mississippi State got in on the chaos today. Seniors Donald Gray, Martinez Rankin, and Des Harris joined head coach Dan Mullen here in Hoover. Got a little bit of love from the fans that showed up here in Hoover to meet the Bulldogs. So Mississippi State confident into this year. A lot of projections say they're going to be toward the bottoms, but they don't want to hear about any kind of projections. But surprisingly, not joining the three seniors was junior quarterback Nick Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, of course, led the SEC a year ago in total yards, and he's going to have to prove a lot that he's going to be jumping up as the sole starter of this team. Of course, a year ago he was competing with three other guys for that gig, but now this is Fitzgerald's team, and the Bulldogs expect a lot from the junior quarterback.
He's been through a season as the starter. You know, I think this time last year, he's competing for the job, but they also really don't know what it is to be the starter. And so this year he knows what to expect week in and week out.
Missile. He got a strong arm. I mean, it's powerful. If you take it off 1 inch, it's gonna snatch your hands right back. You're gonna drop a ball. You're gonna look kind of crazy.
I see him out every day, you know, working with the receivers and working on his game. You know, I expect big things of Nick. You know, he's a great leader on our team, a great worker, and you know, what happens this season will be, you know, a true testament of his hard work and him putting his best foot forward and trying to create his own legacy.
A lot of expectations and a lot of confidence from the Bulldogs heading into the 27 season. But speaking of expectations and confidence, jump over to our high school football tour. The Sulligent Blue Devils, a disappointing way to end their season a year ago, but they return a ton of talent and have as much expectations and as much confidence as anyone in our viewing area. The Sulligent Blue Devils are up next on our 60 and 60 high school football tour.
WCBI 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and Emerson Animal Hospital, where your pets are family in West Point.
Last year didn't end the way we wanted it to, and going into year 3, you know, our kids know our system and they believe in our system, and they're really working hard. So I feel pretty good and pretty confident in their abilities going into year 3.
A disappointing first-round exit in the playoffs in 2016 has the Sulligent Blue Devils hungry for success in 2017.
We went up there and play a very good Tanner team last year. A premier program in this state in 2A was definitely an eye-opener for a lot of our kids, and gave them some motivation to work harder this off-season to get to where Tanner is.
It helped out a lot of the younger guys, and really it kind of motivated us to be better than we was last year, and it's really motivated us to be more successful.
We've all grown up playing together, and I feel like this year we're going to have a lot better leadership than we did last year. That was one of our big deals, was we lacked leadership, and when it came time to win ball games, we didn't have that leadership to help put the games away. So I feel like coming into this season we've been working hard, and I feel like we're going to make a big change this season, make a run.
One of those returning seniors is all-purpose machine Tyreek Metcalf, racking up more than 1,300 total yards and 15 touchdowns a year ago. Merchant is excited to see one more season with number 15.
He's a dynamic player. You know, we try to get the ball in his hands most every possession. We like to give it to him every play, but you know, we got to rest him a little bit.
The Blue Devils begin their title pursuit with a 3-game homestand, starting with Marion County. In Sulligent with the Blue Devils, Tom Ebel, WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Sulligent High School was brought to you by the Bank of Vernon, Shop and Save, Vernon Dental, and Alpha Agent Alicia Clark.
All right, thanks, Tom. So we will have much more with Mississippi State coming up at 10 on WCBI. Tom will have another report from Hoover with the Bulldogs. Martinez Rankin, Des Harris, Donald Gray, Dan Mullen were all there for all the fun. So, again, just scratching the surface on Media Days. Bama tomorrow at Media Days. Ole Miss on Thursday. We'll wrap it all up by the end of the week.
And Dan Mullen's shoes.
It's always the shoes. I'm sure we'll get a shoe mention coming up tonight.
Oh, yeah. I saw him on Twitter earlier today. We'll be right back.
All right, just a few blips left on radar here, and this activity will be fading away here shortly. We will do it again just like clockwork Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and beyond. More heat, more humidity, more pop-up storms. There you be.
Yep, summertime in the south. And heat index, we talked about it earlier.
Approaching 105 in places, so stay cool.
Yeah, get plenty of water. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.